Yo, what's up, Libra? Welcome to your monthly forecast for the month of October 2018, Libra. You have the Three of Swords at the center of your reading. So, this is a three-way love situation. Not all of you Libras have three-way love situations going on, but some of you definitely do because you have the Three of Swords right at the center of your reading. So, this is you, your significant other, and somebody else. Or if you're single, maybe this is you and you have a couple options. So you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with your love life, Libra. And you got a couple different options here. I mean, I'm seeing, the Knight of Wands could be someone who is a Sagittarius, Leo, or an Aries. And then you got the King of Cups, which could be somebody who is a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Or maybe some of you are involved with other air signs, maybe another Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. And once again, if you're not familiar with tarot, it's not about the gender, it's about the suit. A knight could be a man or a woman, but it's definitely a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. A King of Cups could be a man or a woman, but it's a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. And, obviously the same thing with the King of Swords. It's a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius. But this is definitely you. So you're going to have to figure out what you want to do love-wise. And it's interesting because your ruler, Venus, is going to go retrograde on October 5th. And it will continue to retrograde. It's going to retrograde so much that on October 31st, it's going to retrograde back into your sign. And then it won't move direct in your sign until November 16th. So during this time, you're going to have to figure out what you want to do with your love life, Libra. Who do you really want to be with? Who is right for you? For some of you, I'm seeing stagnant situations in your love life that you need to move on from. The Six of Swords is a card that's very much about moving on. So, if you're not happy in your love life, Libra, don't stay dissatisfied. And I'm not saying that's the case for all of you. Some of you are perfectly, your love life is perfectly fine and there's no issue. But I feel like, whoever's resonating with this reading it's those of you who need a change of pace in your love life. And it's interesting because when Venus goes retrograde, Venus is the planet of love. So, retrogrades have to do with the past sometimes. So, any of these who maybe some of you were involved with in the past, you might be with somebody different now, but, were some of you involved with a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries in the past? Were some of you involved with a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces in the past? Or maybe a Gemini, Aquarius, or another Libra? If that's not them, then this is definitely you. The King of Swords is the element of air, and that's you, Libra, right at the top of your reading. So if this Six of Swords doesn't have to do with moving on in your love life, then I would say that there might be some other aspect of your life that you need to move on from, Libra. Maybe there's a situation in your life where it's time to move on. It's time to go to the next step. It could have to do with anything in your life. For some of you, I feel that it might have to do with your job. I'm not saying all of you are looking to do something different job-wise, but you have the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse down here. So, I'd say if the Ace of Pentacles was in the upright, I'd say things are going great in your job right now, but because it's in the reverse, that would suggest, maybe it's time for a change of job for some of you. That's where the moving on might come in. For others of you, it's like if you want to stick it out with what you're doing, maybe you're just not happy with the amount of money that you're making, some of you. And you do have some conflict and bickering and fighting in your life because crossing your reading is the challenge card for you this month is the Five of Wands. And if you look at this card, everyone's just fighting on this card. And, I don't know if that might be because of some of you. Maybe some of you are instigating a situation, and instead of being diplomatic like you should be, maybe some of you are just worsening a situation. And I'm not saying that all of you are, but maybe some of you are. Some of you are just not feeling like yourselves. You have the Ace of Swords in the reverse. If that Ace of Swords was in the upright, I'd say you'd be on your game. Because once again, that's you. That's the element of air. The swords represent the element of air. The swords represent Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But with this Ace of Swords in the reverse, Libra, it's like you're just not feeling like yourself. And I'd say, a way to make progress would be to move on for some of you. Sometimes this card can be indicative of travel, because you also have the World card too, which is another card that has to do with, like, you got two cards here that potentially might have to do with faraway places. So, maybe a faraway place is a good option for some of you guys. I'm not saying all of you are. I mean, for some of you, that's not practical at all. A faraway place is definitely not practical for some of you. But for others of you, if you do have the opportunity to travel, it might be good. I mean, here's this, they're traveling on this, but I'm not saying you're going to be in a boat or anything, but I mean, it's just, this card's indicative of moving on, potentially traveling somewhere. The World card is indicative of faraway places. The World card is also indicative of integration. So, especially for you single Libras, you look like you have a lot of options. And, sometimes, Libra, you have a bit of a challenge, like, when it comes to making a decision. Like, you're constantly weighing things up and going back and forth. And, that's not really your strong area, making a decision. So, I think that some of you could benefit from, especially if you're single, you got some options. You got a Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. You got a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You got a Gemini, Aquarius, or another Libra potentially. So, pick one, Libra. Integrate with whoever it is. Because you do have a new moon in your sign. That's going to happen on October 8th. So that's going to bring some fresh energy into your life. And, it's interesting because the outcome for this month is the Ace of Wands in the upright, which is a nice new energy. So some kind of new beginning for some of you. And maybe that's just what you need, because, that card is consistent with the new moon in your sign, Libra. The Ace of Wands is a new beginning. Now, the outcome for your reading is also the King of Cups, and once again, it doesn't have to be, the gender doesn't matter, but this is somebody who is a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. So, this person is valuable. They're part of your outcome, and they're right next to the Ace of Wands, so potentially this is someone who's really creative. Because that Ace of Wands energy is, that's definitely creative energy, inspiring. Some of you are really inspired by this person. Some of you, the Four of Cups in the reverse, like before, maybe you were like, oh, you're like disregarding someone who's talented potentially. See, they're handing you this right here. So this is someone who's talented who potentially you were disregarding them before. But now, because the card is upside down, some of you might be saying, hey, this person actually is really talented. For some of you, this could be the indication of a new relationship. So especially for those of you who are single, or, if you're in a love situation, I'm not saying all of you are, but if you really truly are in a three-way love situation where you're like, I'm not really that happy with who I'm with, I'm kind of looking at somebody else who I really like, potentially this is the new relationship for some of you. And it's interesting because you also have a full moon, which is going to happen on October 24th. And that one brings some sort of shift when it comes to someone you share your life with. And that could be like in any type of setting. So, if you share your life with someone for a while and be honest with yourself, if things aren't going that great, this full moon could bring a change. So if you're in a three-way love situation, you're really not that happy with the person you're next to, then this is the opportunity to make that change, Libra. And I'm not saying that's the case for all of you. Now, for others of you, if you're in a relationship where you are happy, then this full moon on October 24th is like taking the next step. Like you're solidifying that connection that you have with somebody else. Like, are you going to make it more official? Like, for those of you Libras who've been with somebody for a while and things are going great, are you ready to get engaged? If you're engaged, are you ready to get married? So it's going to resonate differently for all of you. So, you know, for those of you Libras who you have a really solid alliance with somebody, a deep union, then this full moon on the 24th could be very positive for taking the next step. If you're single, I'd say utilize this energy of the full moon on the 24th to integrate with one of these options. You got some options, Libra, for you single Libras. You know, maybe with the Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo, if you're trying to connect with that person, maybe that's a bit of an issue. You might have to try a few times if you're trying to make that happen because it's in the reverse. I'd say a Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio is a great option for you because it's in the King of Cups is in the upright. King of Swords may be another Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. So, but, you know, some of you really are headed for a new beginning because that's the Ace of Wands is your outcome right next to the King of Cups. So it could be a new creative alliance for some of you. If you're a Libra that's an artist, you know, your ruler is Venus, and Venus is the planet of art and creativity. But thank you very much, Libra, for watching this video. If you've enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe, share, and like. I'm on Instagram as Gregory Furlan Astrology. So if you like to read daily astrology, give me a follow there. Thank you for watching. Have a great month, and I'll see you next time.